Hey, this is Jeffrey Towson, Peking University, here at the Huawei campus in Shenzhen. We're a couple minutes away from the live press conference to announce the quarterly results that more or less have the whole world's attention. So please, follow me in. Okay, so we just finished the conference. The numbers are out for the first half of 2019. Very interesting. My big takeaways on all this: the carrier business, especially the rollout of 5G, is going strong, rocking and rolling. They appear to be the leader. Everything looks pretty good as far as I can tell. The big question, I think, for the conference was the performance of the consumer business, which is the smartphones and other things, and that's obviously something where the issue with the United States had an impact, especially regarding operating system, Android, the Android ecosystem, things like that. And that's going to be sort of an evolving story, but so far the numbers seem okay. Overall, the revenue growth for the whole company, 23% for the first half of the year. Overall for 2019, it looks like a company that took a surprise hit, shook it off, solidified itself, and now is sort of getting ready to go forward. And maybe is stronger for it, maybe is a little more invigorated, maybe is a little more galvanized at the management level and across the campus. That's kind of how it appears to me so far. The consumer business is the one that people are talking more about right now because of the US situation. That's interesting because if we didn't have this issue this year, Huawei smartphones have been doing spectacularly well. They've been gaining market share in China while almost all the competitors are shrinking or holding steady. They've been expanding across Southeast Asia, India, Latin America. If you go to Mexico, you'll see Huawei billboards everywhere. It is just everywhere. And that's the developing market story. And then if you look at Europe, some of their best growth has been in Europe. Huawei smartphones are really popular in Europe. So the smartphone consumer picture has been a really big growth story, and that's where most of their growth has been coming from for the last couple of years, is consumers. So whether this issue with the US is a temporary dip that is going to be resolved or a little longer is unclear. My guess is this is a small bump in the road, and that 5 years from now we're going to see a much bigger presence on the consumer side. Now my area is digital China, Asia technology trends, which is just about the most exciting thing I can find. It's fascinating. Pretty much everything on a smartphone in China, Asia is better than a smartphone in the US. I carry two smartphones, one from China, one from the US. The China one's just better. Connectivity, entertainment, messaging, e-commerce. We're just seeing lots of advancement going forward. Things are very dynamic. And then 5G, which is going to accelerate a lot of this, is also kind of happening here. China, South Korea, Japan, we're seeing the rollout the fastest. So the whole digital China and the whole Asia technology story is getting more and more exciting. In many ways, it's the frontier. On a lot of things that relate to consumer behavior, it's pretty much the frontier, especially e-commerce, mobile payments. I think the other areas where maybe we're going to see Asia lead is probably smart cities and smart transportation. Because of the infrastructure being built and rebuilt here, it's happening a lot faster. B2B story tends to be more of a US story in terms of leadership, but B2C and B2G, that tends to be a China-Asia story in terms of my own personal opinion. It's been absolutely fascinating going around campus, seeing the Europe town, talking with staff. Learned an amazing amount and definitely hope to come back. So thank you so much for that.